In this lecture, we're going to make the progress bar functional. We want to be able to let the user know if their upload is in progress, a success, or a failure. Accounting for these three scenarios will provide for a better user experience. On the page, we have a couple of dummy progress bars under the upload box. The progress bars are built with Tailwind classes. We're going to convert this progress bar from a static element to a dynamic one. The first thing we'll do is listen for the response from Firebase. We're going to continue working on the upload function we defined in the upload component. The put method we called to initiate the upload will return an object. This object will emit events we can listen to during the upload. If we want to listen to the events, we'll need to assign the object to a variable. The name of the variable will be called task. Firebase calls the object returned by the function a task snapshot. Right after creating the task variable, we're going to call the on function from it. This function will let us listen to events on the object. The name of the event we'll want to listen for is called state changed. The state changed event will get emitted on 3 occasions. It'll let you know the progress of the upload, if the upload failed, or if it succeeded. They're the 3 scenarios we'll want to handle. We can pass in 3 functions to handle each one. The first function we pass in will be for the progress of the upload. We'll pass in an arrow function. We have access to one parameter called snapshot. We'll accept the parameter. The snapshot object contains information about the current upload. In the resource section of this lecture, I provide a link to the upload files documentation page for Firebase. On the sidebar, there's a link to a section called Monitor Upload Progress. Click on it. This part of the page documents the properties you can find in the snapshot object. In the second table, you'll find the list of properties. There are 2 properties we'll want to use. They're the bytes transferred and the total bytes properties. The bytes transferred property represents the number of bytes transferred so far. The total bytes property represents how many bytes are expected to be transferred. Both properties will help us calculate the progress of the upload. We can display the progress to the user by adjusting the width of the progress bar. This is what we'll do in the function. Let's switch back to the editor. We're going to define a variable called progress. It'll be set to the following value: snapshot.bytestransferred / snapshot.totalbytes star 100. This is a calculation to get the percentage of how much has been uploaded so far. We can use the percentage to set the width of the progress bar. Let's prepare the progress bar in the template. In this template, search for a comment that says progress bars. Under this comment, there are 3 dummy progress bars. Remove 2 of them. We only need 1. Here's what we'll want to do. We want to loop through the number of uploads and display their progress. Currently, we don't have an array to represent how many uploads have been made thus far. In the data object, create a property called uploads. Set it to an empty array. If a new upload is initiated, we'll want to push it into this array. Back in the function, we're going to call the push method on the upload array. Push the upload before we listen to any events on the task object. We're going to push an object with 3 properties. The first is the task object. We're pushing this in because we may need to reference the task outside of the loop, for things like canceling the upload or retrieving data from it. It makes sense since it contains info about the upload. The next value we'll want to push is the current progress. The initial progress will be 0. The last property we'll want to push is the name of the file. Create a property called name. We'll set it to file.name. The reason we're adding the name is because the progress bar has the name above it. We'll need to store the name of the file if we want to display it. The array is ready. We can update the template to loop through the array to display the progress bar. Scroll back to the progress bar in the template. On the div tag with the class MB4, add the v4 directive to it. The expression will be the following: upload in uploads. It's important we assign a key to prevent strange behavior. Bind the key property to upload.name. We'll start from the top and work our way down. There's a comment that says file name. Below this comment, there's a div tag, which is the container for the file name. Replace the static text with the expression upload.name. Next, there's a comment that says inner progress bar. Below this comment is a div tag. We're going to manipulate this element by binding its width. First, let's remove the style attribute. Afterward, we'll bind the style attribute to an object. We'll set the width property to the upload.currentProgress property with a % symbol. This binding should give us the desired effect. Moving on, we're going to change the color of the progress bar. We can use a Tailwind class to change the color. We're going to bind the class attribute to the BGBlue400 class. The progress bar will always be the same color. We're finished with the progress bar. In the next lecture, we'll look at how we can make the progress bar more dynamic.